What's crackalackin' my people? My name is Fatty, and what we do here is we talk about everything that has to do with money, but we do it in the most simple terms because we want everybody to understand, and when everybody understands, everybody can make some money, and then we're actually all in this together. Today we're talking about the truths about being an entrepreneur and what these TikTok gurus and YouTube gurus are not actually telling you when it comes to being an entrepreneur, because being an entrepreneur fucking sucks, and I promise you that, okay? A lot of people will show you this. But that's not real entrepreneurship. That's the end goal. That's the rewards that you get from being an entrepreneur. Like everything, there is a road that you have to take, that you have to go through to get to the final destination. What you just watched was the final destination. Real entrepreneurs will tell you that the road to get there is fucking tough. You're gonna go through some barbed wire. You're gonna go through some electrical fences. You're gonna go through some hard fucking times. That is just the truth. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. You're gonna go through some hard times. And the funny thing is, even when you get to the end freaking goal, you're probably still gonna go through hard times. Like a lot of these big real estate gurus that went through hard COVID times. Nobody was paying them rent because the government closed everything. It's not their fault. It's not the tenant's fault. They were just losing money.
Everything is closed. Every hotel in spring break makes $1 million that month. Not one of them has made it. That's 6 of them. That's $6 million in 1 month. Gone. Never coming back. Adios. And put me in the hole because I still got bills to pay. That's just the hotels. The gym just called and said, hey, we're closed. We can't pay the rent. 50 grand a month. Not coming in. We didn't have nobody come in and buy any furniture. We can't pay the rent. 50 grand a month. Never coming back. That's the situation. And that's just a couple examples. There's a whole list of them. And then what about all the tenants living in apartments that ain't gonna be going to work and need money? They ain't gonna pay their rent. So if you're in real estate right now, you're screwed, baby. Screwed.
And that's what entrepreneurship is. Entrepreneurship is really being a problem fixer. That's really what I think entrepreneurship is. It's nothing else but being a problem fixer. You are the guy who deals with all the problems. And if you do not deal with those problems, I promise you, you are going to get nowhere. Nowhere. If there is a problem / obstacle in front of you, you are the one that has to fix that. And that comes in consequence with a lot of emotional stress, a lot of headaches, a lot of just not wanting to do it. And a lot of these TikTok and YouTube entrepreneur gurus do not tell you this. They don't tell you that it's physically and mentally draining being an entrepreneur. Why don't they tell you this? Because they have their own agenda. They have courses to sell.
You said that I teach a real estate course, but I don't. What I do on many of my courses, I have a course coming out on how to build an app. I don't build apps.
And look, I love doing YouTube. It's actually a hobby. I truly enjoy doing it. But I will never, ever sell a course online to try and tell people that this is the only way to go. 9-to-5s have been talked down on so much on social media. You see all these TikTok gurus, all these YouTube gurus telling you that 9-to-5s are horrible. And I'll be completely honest with you, I used to be the same. I used to tell all my friends that I will never work a 9-to-5. I hate it because I do. I hate 9-to-5s and it's just not fun for me. But 9-to-5s are perfect for some people. If you don't want to have a stressful life, then 9-to-5s are awesome. 9-to-5s are great because when you're working at 9-to-5 and you punch in at 9 and leave at 5, after 5 o'clock, nothing is your problem. But when you're an entrepreneur, if the building is burning down at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're fucking your wife, I promise you, you're gonna have to stop and go ahead and see if the building is burning, if you can fix it, if there's something you can do about it. And that's the honest truth about being an entrepreneur. It's freaking emotionally draining. So in this video, I'm really talking to my new entrepreneurs, my entrepreneurs that are trying to make self-made income as their only source of income. I'm gonna give you guys 4 real realities as to how it is being an entrepreneur and being solely dependent on your self-made income, that a lot of these TikTok and YouTube gurus are not telling you because they're trying to glamorize a life that's not really real. Without further ado, let's get into it. If you don't do it, it's not gonna get done. As simple as that. You are the anchor in the business. If you are not working, you are not progressing. If you are not prospecting, you are not making money. If you are not fixing problems, the problems will always be there. You cannot count on somebody else to do it. You need to be that person who's always wired, always there, always ready to fix issues, because like we said, you are a problem fixer. You are not an entrepreneur, you are a problem fixer. And until all these problems are fixed, then you can call yourself an entrepreneur. If you don't go ahead and check out that burning building, like our example in the beginning, that building is going to burn down and you won't have an office building. You won't have a warehouse. All your inventory is going to burn down. So if you don't do it, you're not going to get anywhere. If you do not get leads in for your team, you're not going to make money. Your team is not going to be able to go ahead and look for contracts for you. There's a lot of things that depend on you and you alone, and that's what makes entrepreneurship very lonely. And just know that when you're choosing to become an entrepreneur, you have to be ready to not have somebody to go ahead and ask a question to. Like when you're working a 9 to 5, you can ask somebody a question or how to go ahead and do this and do that. In entrepreneurship, you find that shit by yourself, by your lonely. You either use YouTube or Google, but that's all you have. Your only friends are YouTube and Google and yourself. So just be mindful that when you're starting a business, if you don't do it, it is not gonna get done. Point number 2, loneliness. Being an entrepreneur is extremely lonely. And this ties down with our first point. Because you're trying to fix everything yourself, because you're trying to find the solution to everything yourself, you don't see the need to talk to other people, and it just becomes very lonely. And then sometimes you have a problem that you just don't know how to fix. We don't know everything at all times. And sometimes that's a very lonely feeling, because if you really can't figure out what the answer is to a question, then you're kind of stuck in your head thinking and asking yourself questions. You start talking to yourself, and so it's not really a fun time to not know an answer and have to have an answer, because we don't always have an answer. So loneliness is a really big part, and a fix to that I'll give you guys is to have the right people in your life. The right people in your life really won't help the business, but it'll help you cope with the stress of the business. And so loneliness is tough, guys. Very tough. Check out this scene in The Pursuit of Happiness. It's sad, it's lonely. I've been going through it. I go through it, but throughout time, you literally just like get used to it, and it just becomes part of your daily life, and it doesn't really faze you anymore. But when you're beginning, it's tough, it's hard, and just be ready to not have anybody to pick up the phone to and ask them the question that you have in your head, because you know your business the best, and you're the only one who can answer the questions that are unanswered. Point number 3, and this is a really big one: managing finances. When I first started, I did not know that sales tax was real. And I would get checks and I used to think, okay, there's a part that's for taxes, which is income taxes, but I never really thought of sales taxes. And so that's just one of my big mistakes that I've made when I first started. Managing finance is tough, guys. I'll give you an example. Let's say you get a $10,000 check in the mail. You pick up that check, it'll make you smile. It made me smile. But that $10,000 check is not an actual $10,000 check. After you pay your employee, after you pay Uncle Sam, after you pay everything, you're probably left with whatever your margins are, say $5K, okay? And when you're left with $5,000, it's a little bit less fun. What you need to get really good at when it comes to managing finances is categorizing your money. And so let's say that $10,000 check comes in, you need to categorize, okay, 2 grand goes to my employees, 3 grand goes to paying my office building, and then another grand goes to the tax man. So there's a lot of things that you have to do in your head. And we're talking about new small businesses. We're not talking about businesses that have an accounting infrastructure. And that's problems that you will come up with. And if you don't educate yourself on taxes and how they work, then you'll be stuck like me with a really big tax bill at the end of the year. I had to pay it. I had to pay it in full. I couldn't go around it, and it was a hit. I was supposed to reinvest, buy inventory, and I couldn't because I had to pay a tax man because I did not do my due diligence, which goes back to my first point. If it doesn't get, if you have something to fix, you have to fix it. And if you don't do it, it's not gonna get done. And I did not do my due diligence, and it literally hindered the company because we didn't have any cash flow to buy new inventory and to reinvest in the business. You need to be a jack of all trades. You need to be an accountant. You need to be able to manage people. You need to be able to be a go-getter and a problem solver. There's a lot of things that you have to be. When you're an entrepreneur, it's not just one hat, it's multiple hats. Last but not least, point number 4, and this is one of the biggest ones in this list, and this is continued business. Continued business is so important, guys, because getting one contract is great, but you have to keep the ball rolling. You have to always understand that you're not really working for yourself. You are working for your employees. You are working to feed them. And so if you don't have continued business coming into the business every single month, then you are not doing your duty, which is feeding and paying your employees. You need to be able to get business every single month. So that comes with prospecting. You have to go ahead and get a lead generator somehow. Either you do it manually, or there's a lot of different websites that can help you out with lead generation. If you want to go ahead and have money coming in every month, that is something that you have to do. You have to be able to keep bringing in business, and that's literally the biggest part about being an entrepreneur. There's so many big parts, but that's a huge part. You can't just dwell and be like, oh, I made $10,000 this month. What about next month? What are you gonna do in 2 months? You need to plan forward, plan in advance. Tell yourself, okay, I have a $10,000 check this month. Next month I need to make 20. I need to make 10. I need to make 10 as my bare minimum. How do I do that? Let me email Joe at Joe's company and see if he needs anything, if he needs any of my services. Let me go ahead and call Katie and see if Katie needs any services from me. And if they say no, then you have to go back and cold call. It's a lot of prospecting. And if you don't do this, and if you don't do it right, then you will not be having business coming in, and you won't have income for yourself, but more importantly, for your employees. And that really hurts. Now, I know it might sound like I'm attacking entrepreneurship, or I'm talking a lot of smack about entrepreneurship, and that's really not what I'm trying to come off as. When you sign a contract, you have to read the contract before signing it. So before you fully divulge your whole life, your physical health and your mental health into something, you need to know what is awaiting you. You need to have a glimpse as to what is awaiting you. And so if you guys think I'm trying to hate on entrepreneurship, that is completely wrong. It's a fallacy. I love entrepreneurship. I love the fact that I can leave my office whenever I want. I love the fact that I can go on vacation whenever I want. I love the fact that I can choose what contracts to take and what contracts not to take. I love the fact that I can go to the bathroom without having 2 bathroom breaks a day. But it comes with a lot of stress, and it comes with a lot of inconveniences. And my job here on my channel is to let you guys know what it is to be an entrepreneur. I let you guys know the real truth, and not what these TikTok and YouTube gurus are showing you, which is Lambos and fucking mansions. It's not real. What's real is that it's really lonely, it's really hard. If you don't do it, it's never gonna get done, and it's just a lot on just one person. And if you have a partner, it's great, but you guys are both gonna feel the same symptoms as to what I'm telling you right now. And so entrepreneurship is great. Just know what you're getting yourself into. Guys, I love making these videos for you. I got a microphone. I got this little shelf thingy. I'm trying to put up my posters. I'm a freaking idiot. I don't know how to put up posters, but I'm gonna figure out somehow. And I'm really trying to invest in my YouTube channel, and I hope you guys like this type of content. If you guys do, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe, guys. It really helps me and it motivates me to make a lot more videos for you guys just like this, because I truly enjoy making these videos. It's really cool, and I like editing it too. It's fun. It's kind of a stress reliever. So yeah, if you guys are interested in more, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to hear about. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for clicking on this video. Your time is really appreciated. I hope you have a very nice day. See you in the next video.